Hey, let me ask you something. Would your life be better if you had more money? Imagine a life where you have complete ownership and control over your time, where you can design your work environment to suit your needs, and where success is not just a dream, but a tangible reality. This is the life that successful people enjoy, and it can be yours too as a member of Coopbusiness. Coopbusiness is not your typical business opportunity. It's a membership-based model that offers you the income, mentorship, and tools to create the life you desire. With Coopbusiness, you have the opportunity to build your income, gain the knowledge needed for success, and prepare yourself for a future as an entrepreneur and business owner. To live the life of the rich and famous, you need the resources that afford you the free time and the knowledge to make smart decisions. Coopbusiness provides you with the means to achieve both. Join Coopbusiness today and unlock the path to financial freedom and a life of abundance. It's time to take control of your destiny and embrace the principles that lead to a fulfilling and prosperous existence. Coopbusiness. Let's get busy with it. Hello Africa, hello world. Great to be here with you all today. We've got a great attendance already. On Monday, we actually had a wonderful meeting with African people from the African continent and all over the world. It was really special with David T Rosen, and since then, a lot more people have seen the value that we're offering here tonight. And I'm just really grateful for this opportunity. Please, if you haven't invited your friends yet, bring them on already. And I'm going to introduce our presenter today is Paul Angus. We all love and adore Paul Angus. He has got a wonderful story, so I'm going to let him tell his story, and let's get busy with it. Thank you. Over to you, Paul.
Well, thank you very much, Marina. That was a great introduction. And tonight we've got some new slides for everybody. You know, and you can see how the business is evolving and your future with it. So welcome to Coopbusiness, everybody. And I've noticed that there's something like 7 or 8 countries on already, and there's more joining. So welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. It's my privilege to give you an overview of the co-op world and what you can see in store for you on a part-time basis, the same as me. So if I could have the next slide, please, Marina. Now, by using the cooperative approach, we solve the world's 2 big challenges: income earning and ending global poverty. So everyone knows that they need to earn more money because there's always too much money at the end of the money, isn't there? But we also see on television and we hear all this on news reports about different disasters and things going on around the world. And in this day and age, in the 21st century, we must agree, we shouldn't have that amount of poverty, should we? You know, some of the part of the world does really well and it flourishes, and other parts of the world that just seem to be diminishing. So Coopbusiness has been put together not just to create the world's biggest income, and I can assure you it will do that, but also to end global poverty. Next slide, please. This is our esteemed owner and CEO, Mr. David Rosen, because when you look at a company, you like to see who's behind this fabulous company. What have they achieved previously? Because you can always tell someone's future by their past. Are they an achiever? And this gentleman certainly is an achiever. Mr. David T Rosen, look at that, in 1985, he created something called the WOW card. And that was the world's first loyalty card, providing savings to consumers. And to this date, that concept now produces $52 trillion worth of business. Now, and that's per year. Now, if you looked in your wallet or your purse, you've probably got some cards in there that give you discounts, and that's the whole thing of a loyalty card. I was out with some of my friends yesterday. They're actually members in Coopbusiness, and some of them are dear friends, and one of them is Dennis Owens, who got me into this business. And Dennis is 90 years of age, and we had Dennis, my friend Bob, and my friend Andy, and we just sort of said, you know, this is going to be something else, this business. when we look at this, you know, the things that we're going to do are going to be astounding. We were actually at a conference in Peterborough. When we came out of the conference, I said, let's go to lunch, lads. It's on me. And we went to had a meal. And as they gave us the bill, or they gave me the bill, they dropped this, a little loyalty card. It was a discount. And I thought, isn't that weird? This is something that David Rosen started in 1985. So wherever we go, we're being handed loyalty cards to this day. And then look at 1995. David created something called the Wow Mall. It was the world's first online shopping mall. Now, to this day, we've got loads of shopping malls, but it had to start somewhere. It started with David T Rosen. And then in 2001, David created the five-star exchange, the world's first crowdfunding platform. And it changed the way that people acquired money. They didn't go to banks to try and get money when they needed something, because that would be very difficult. There was another way. Politicians have used it. People in war-torn countries, when they're trying to repair things, have used it. People have done things where they want to raise money for charity or do something good for a neighbor. They want to raise some money to get their garden tidied up. And they immediately think of crowdfunding. So crowdfunding has, across the globe, over the years that David T Rosen put that together in 2001, it's such a well-known thing. So look at all those three things there. They're life-changing things, they're business-changing things, and they're things that have changed us. So the next thing he did was something for us, and it's called Co-op Business. Next slide, please. These are the 21st century cooperatives. We think about our business being a cooperative, but let's think of what else is a cooperative that's already a giant. You know, many of you have jumped in an Uber car, a taxi called Uber, and people use their own cars, but they get directions from a company to say, go and pick this passenger up to there, take them back to there. But that company doesn't own a single taxi. Look at Airbnb. It's the largest vacation rental company, and yet they don't own a single room. When I used to live in Spain, I was literally 20 feet from the sea, and I used to do Airbnb, and it was a marvelous service. That, wow, I'm getting people renting part of my home by the beach there. They're loving it. It was all done through Airbnb. And then you got Alibaba. I hope I said that right. Alibaba, the largest goods and services retailer, but they don't make a single product. It's all supplied. So you can see already the way the world's going. And what we're doing with Co-op Business is we're creating something even bigger. Next slide, please. We are correct. Oh, go back one. I think you might need to go back one. That's it. Now, in the 21st century, Co-op Business will be the largest generator of income in the world. Just think about that for a second. This company that you're involved with or about to get involved with is the largest generator of incomes in the world, and they don't have any employees. They don't employ anybody. They're people like you and I that start part-time. Next slide, please. So this cooperative, it's a revolutionary 21st century business model. It's something different. It's very, very affordable. It's easy to understand, and it's very hugely rewarding. Isn't that what, when you want a business, you want three things? Am I able to get involved? Can I do this? I don't have various skills. You know, it's not my chosen profession, but I need to make extra money. And will it pay me enough to make a difference? Next slide, please. This is what we also have within the co-op business. We've redefined business ownership, because people getting into business these days, they don't just want to be a member of something. They'd like to feel they own something. So what we have here is the co-op NFT, and it's our business ownership on the blockchain. It's actually a store of value, and that value increases. So with co-op business, these are the kinds of things that you're going to have with it. And it's something that makes a big difference because it's something of absolute tangible value. Next, please. We've got co-op bits. We'll say, what's co-op bits, Paul? It's our own native token in our ecosystem. Now, many of you have heard of something called Ethereum. Now, when Ethereum was first coming out on the market a few years ago, nobody really knew what it was. And they'd say, well, what is this ETH? Well, ETH is their Ethereum. It's literally their token, and it's going to go up in value. And do you know what they said at the time? That'll never work. That'll never take off. It's a coin. It's not real money. But now that fictitious money has become real money. It's moved around the world, and it's moved cheaper than the usual money that we have now. So the co-op business has produced co-op bits. So it's our native token. And when you come on board with this business opportunity on a part-time basis, you will be given 500 co-op bits. And again, it's our value to you, and it's something that's an asset. It's going to increase. Next, please. We have a co-op wallet. This is absolutely purposely designed by Co-op Business for us. It wasn't something we took on from somewhere else. We've literally created our own bank. It's a decentralized digital wallet, which means it's actually safer. It goes through the blockchain, and it's our ecosystem bank it'll cater for your complete financial transactions. So people can use this wallet when coming on board with our company. You can use this wallet for moving money from you to, say, your family. If you've got your family on board with this business, they could be on the outback trekking. They could be somewhere in North America, or they could be doing something unusual for about a month or 6 weeks. And children have a habit of running out of money, don't they? So they come back to the bank and, mum and dad, hey, mum, dad, you got this new business that's really taken off. Can you send me a couple of thousand? Well, make it 5. We got to last a little bit longer. But you could do that when you want to help somebody around the world and they are involved in co-op business and they have one of our decentralized wallets. You could move your money to theirs and vice versa. So as well as get money out 24/7, 365 days a year without any limitations. Because that was something what David wanted also. He wanted to have our own bank, our own decentralized wallet that's totally safe for us. The only person that could touch that money is you. You can have it out whenever you want, take it out at any time for any amount. So if you've got $1,000, 5,000, 10,000, $500,000, you can take that money out and you move that to wherever you want it. So when you get into a business, it's great that it works, isn't it? But what about the payment? Can I get my money out? Well, with this company, absolutely yes. Next, please. Let's look at co-op funding. When you get into a business, what are you doing it for? Yes, you need extra money. And you're thinking, well, I'll start part-time and it might help me pay for the car. It might help pay for the shopping. Because a lot of people don't realize this, but there's something I saw on the television today. It said in the last 12 months, groceries and shopping in general has increased by 30%. I didn't think it was that high, but they said it's 30%. Now, has your salary increased by 30% in the last 12 months? What about the last 5 years? Absolutely not. So all these things around us are going up. So having a part-time venture like this that will give you daily instant cash flow, because we get paid daily, that will help you cover the expenses that you've got. I mean, for me personally, it'll cover your rent, your mortgage, your car payments, your bills, your general household things that you go into work to pay for. Everyone goes to work for 31 days of the month and hopefully they get the odd weekend off, but they have to wait 4 weeks in general to get paid. And then when they get paid, that money lasts them, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? Think about that. And I did something with somebody once with their mobile phone. And I said, let's work out what you earn per hour. And they said, okay. I said, get your mobile phone. It's got a calculator on it. Nobody uses a mobile phone to ring anymore. We use it to take photographs and make videos, right? But I said, it's also got a calculator. There's a little exercise you'll do tonight, and that will encourage you to join this business a bit quicker. I'd like you to put in your net take-home pay in your calculator. Don't tell me what it is, and then divide it up by how many days you actually work. Work weekends, and if you divide it up by that, it gives you what you're being paid per hour. And it's actually quite startling because it's so low. You're thinking, I don't work for that. Surely I make more money than that. But you don't. And it struggles for most people to actually pay those expenses, let alone the debts. Well, what if you achieved a level of greatness of success in this business that will cover your debts, will cover your mortgage, your rent, your bills, your pay, the food that keeps increasing, the fuel that goes up and down? Well, that's what happened to me. 3 months ago, I didn't know anything about this business. But 2 months ago, I joined it. And within 6 weeks working very part-time, I worked hard part-time, but I was still part-time. I was able to actually quit my job, my full-time job. I used to have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, start at 4, finish around 10:30, 11 o'clock. I had the rest of the afternoon, but I was always tired. I wasn't living my full potential. I wasn't living my dream life. And I thought, is this all life is going to be for me at 64? Have I got to look forward to that next 3 years before I retire, 2 years, whatever it is? And then as a pensioner, I don't look a pensioner, do I? I don't know nowhere near it. Absolutely. But as a pensioner, what do you get? Very little to live on. You get very little to live on. Like my friend Dennis, he said he outlived. He outlived his savings. So was that all I was going to look forward to, or was there something better? And there absolutely is, because on the 20th of May, I said goodbye to my boss, still remain friends, but I didn't have to go back to work again. And I promised myself that I wouldn't leave work on a whim. I wouldn't take any risks. I'd need to make at least double what I was earning there before I left. So I managed to do that in 6 weeks. If I could do that, what could you do? Let me show you. Let's have the next slide. Now, there are 3 different stages, entry levels, to come into Co-op Business, to have this membership. And the first one is Co-op Build, and it's an unlimited trial. It's not a 7-day trial, it's unlimited trial. And you can come into our business free of charge and go around the back office, what we call a members area. It's a back office to us. And you can build that back office and system. The layout is identical to what we have, which pays us money on a daily basis. And you can grow and build your team. You can think, oh, let me put the kids in, let's see what happens. And every time you put a new person in, we only need 3, but let's say you put the first 3 people in, you'll earn $11 for the first one, $11 for the second one, and $11 for the third one. Well, let's put a few more in, and you'll watch that build it's dramatically, it's amazing. So you could actually have an unlimited income starting from the build, and that's a trial period. And most people said, okay, I've seen it now 3 or 4 days. It works, doesn't it? It absolutely does work. Well, let me start with the elite program. So what do we get with the elite program? Well, the elite program is only a $1 a day subscription to run your business, because you'll soon see, how do people make the kind of money they're making? How am I possibly able to leave work in 6 weeks and replace my income and have more on top, so I know that I can travel, I don't have to worry about fuel anymore, I can do things. That it starts here, it starts at the elite membership level. Now, everything you get in build, you get in this, plus you get the NFTs, plus you get the bits, you get the co-op EBA, the MBA, and the MBA stands for Mega Bank Account. You get the co-op wallet, you get the co-op resources. There's more and more things being added to the resource. And what you also get is an unlimited income. It isn't capped, it's an unlimited income, all for $1 a day. And as you progress through the business, you'll find that that $1 a day subscription is actually covered by the money that you're going to earn. Now, we're all used to subscriptions, aren't we? We pay TV, Sky subscription. Everything we do in life that we pay with our money is normally a subscription. Whether we watch movies or not, that's what we need to pay with this. So with this business opportunity, it's $1 a day. And then we have the advanced model called the Mogul. Now, in the Mogul, you're going to get everything you're going to get inside the elite. You're going to, but on top of that, you also get the entrepreneurial mastery course. It's a fabulous course. We've got several in there, but there's a 52-week master course. And it's something that you would expect to see in places like Harvard Business School. This isn't just some little course that's been picked off the shelf. This is specifically designed for us, where we can learn, because learning is such a huge thing now. We send our children to college, and when we send them to college or university, if they don't take out student loans, which are very, very expensive, the parents normally pay, and it costs a lot of money to get children educated, and so they can actually have a better quality of life, so they can get that supposedly good job. But that income and that education is all inside our back office, inside our mastery course. It's going to teach you about crypto literacy. It's going to teach you about financial literacy, and it's going to teach you about the co-op dollars and what they're going to, how they're going to benefit you. And the co-op meetup, this is one that excites me no end. Well, what is co-op meetup? Tonight we're having this presentation on Zoom, and a lot of people are used to using Zoom, especially since COVID, since the pandemic over the last 3 years. People have taught themselves how to talk to their friends and family all over the world through their mobile phones, as I'm doing at this moment. I'm not on my computer, I'm on my mobile phone. I don't use it for calls. I use it for photographs with my friends. I use it for the calculator. I use it to make videos, and I use it for this. But with co-op meetup, very, very soon, we're going to have our own webinar service. We won't need to use Zoom. We won't need to pay for it if you've got a big organization, and you can stay on it for as long as you want because it's unlimited. Now, all that comes with a Co-op Mogul system. And again, you've got 2 unlimited incomes, because if you're in Co-op Elite and Co-op Mogul, you've not got 1 income, you've got 2 incomes. Now, that one is $10 a day. It's a little bit more, but it pays you 10 times the amount of income. Now, that's quite a pay rise. Next slide, please. What do we do to get involved in this business? How simple is it? Because Paul says it's simple. It's very, very simple. It's 2 simple, doable steps, and that will give you a predictable, ongoing, passive income. Once you've built this business, and I can assure you, you're going to build this business very, very quickly because it's so simple. You register and you become active as a global business owner, as a GBO. I'm a part-time GBO. I left my full-time job to become part-time in this. So you can register for the income side as an elite member for $1 a day, and it'll cost you $38. Well, if it's $1 a day, why isn't it $28? Because the other $10 pays for your NFT, that tangible, valuable asset. And also the other level you can get into is the mogul level, which is the $10 a day. Now, for the 2, you can actually join 1, or you can join 2 for $318. Now, if you live here in the UK, that's roughly £255 one time only. Well, look at the little businesses that people have as one-man bands. Somebody may have a market stall. They may have a driving school. They may have a small lock-up shop where they sell antiques and bits and pieces. Well, every month they've got rents and rates and things to pay. They've got things like overheads and things like that. And someone says, well, is that paid every 28 days? Yes, it is. Oh, so I've got to find the money every 28 days. Not necessarily. Well, how did you do it? I just showed it to my friends. And that's the second part. A qualified global business owner will actually share this with 3 or more of your friends anywhere in the world. My first 3 were in Spain, New Zealand, and the UK. And I know 2 of them for a fact are on here tonight. So hello, guys. They're 2 of the 8 countries. So you set up 3 or more friends. I mean, I spoke to a girl last week. I went to buy some coffee beans, and we got talking, and we got talking about this. And she said, wow, this sounds great. And how much is it to get started? And I said, well, if you start where I am now, it's just £255. She went, wow, is that all? What, at the highest level? I said, yes. Well, what's the lowest level? I said, $38. It's £32. And she said, wow. So when I explained the income, she said, oh no, the 255 is great. I said, can you think of 3 friends off the top of your head? She said, I could think of 33 friends. And she's now doing it. She actually owns this little coffee shop that I went to that gives me coffee beans. So even people in business out there, they're looking for something else that's tangible. So once you get these 2 or 3 business global owners, and they do the same thing, that is it. Technically, you are at the highest level in this company that you can achieve to get the most back out of it. So you're in profit once you've got those 3 people, even at the lowest level or the highest level. If they come in at the same level as you, you're in profit, and your business is then cash rich from that moment on. So it's just 2 simple, doable things. Next, please. We have developed the cooperative income system. This isn't like any other income system. It's not like a network marketing system. We're not a network marketing company. We are cooperative business. So this income system, it works a little bit different. And the reason it works differently is because when someone joins us as a global business owner, it's not just me that gets paid. If it was me personally introducing that person, it's me and 9 other people that came in before me, that joined before me. And every time somebody that you introduce comes in, you and 9 people above you get paid. Think, wow, that's how they make so much money then. But they couldn't work it out. I said, it's not just a case of you bring somebody and you get paid. You bring somebody in, lots of people get paid. So we all do a little to all receive a lot. Next slide, please. This is a revolutionary way for you to earn an income in the 21st century. It's a cooperative that we, as I said, we each do a little to all receive a lot. It's the best part-time venture you're ever going to see. Next slide. Here's how we do it. There's a simple word there called simplexity. The company have taken care of the second part, which is all the complex, all the marketing plan, the structure, how we're going to promote it, the software, all the staff, the techie staff, everyone that makes everything in the background work. And they left us with the first part, the simple part. And as I've shown you so far, it's very, very simple. What do? We join, well, that's simple. And what else do? We share it with 3 friends anywhere in the world. It doesn't actually have to be 3 people. It could be 1 person, 1 charity, 1 shop, 1 business owner who says, you know what, I love my business, but it isn't bringing me in enough money. I need to raise some money from somewhere. So we've actually got something quite simple. Have a look at this. So it could be 3 people or 3 businesses or a mixture of each. Next, please. As I said about the co-op income system, we actually utilize our income system to innovate an approach that is predictable and gives us predictable income, because many business opportunities out there, you get started and you do some activity and you earn a little bit of money that month. And you might only do a little bit each month. But with this company, whatever you earn in the next 28 days from the time you start, you are guaranteed that for next month. Now, how can you be guaranteed, Paul? Because we all pay a subscription, and that's where the income comes from. That income comes from that subscription, whether it's $1 a day or $10 a day, and it pays you and 9 other people. That ensures that everybody that comes into this business gets paid, not just the people at the start, not just the lucky few, everyone. Our members can quickly generate a substantial and sustainable income that becomes livable, like it has for me in the last 6 weeks. I don't know how to get this across to you as good as I'd like to, but it's absolutely amazing not to have to get out of bed at 3 o'clock in the morning in all weathers just to do a job, just to make a living. So I'm thoroughly enjoying it. So this income system will allow you to do that because of the way it's designed. Next, please. Here's our structure. This is how we get paid. And as I said, not many people get pay rises. I got offered a pay rise as I was leaving my job, and I'd only been there 2 years. And I said, oh, it took 2 years for a pay rise. And the pay rise was quite ridiculous. It was actually 70 pence. It's the equivalent of like $1 per hour. And that's taxable. So by the time it's taxed, I would get 50 pence, 70 cents. Not a lot, is it? Not when you say what's going to happen here. Now, we have 10 income stages. And if you look on that graph there, you'll see 3, 9, 27, 81, 2, 4, 3, and so on. Because each of us does a little. We introduce 3 of our friends, 3 of our colleagues, 3 of our co-workers anywhere in the world. They do the same. They'll introduce their 3, and it'll go to 9, 27, 81. So you may not know a lot of people around the world, but you don't need to. Do you know 3 or 4 or 5? Of course you do. We all do. And because we do, that income stage for us will grow quite significantly. And we receive royalty payments every 28 days from each of these people. So as you build your business, you're not going to know who these are. At the moment, in the 6 weeks of activity that I've really pushed this, 6 to 8 weeks, I'm now operating in 9 countries. I've never been to some of those countries, but I knew someone who knew someone who knew someone. Have you heard of that expression, 6 degrees of separation? I had a video call this morning with a lady that I met in 4 or 5 years ago, and I met her through Facebook. She's now joined this business through somebody else that I didn't know up until today. I never met him. But I thought, how does that woman know that guy that I don't know? And she's actually in Australia, and she's now joined the business. She said, I can't believe how good this is. So if you look at that figure, 88,572 business centers, that is 88,502 people that are going to be in your structure over a given period of time. And you don't have to know them, but I bet you know 3. I bet you know 6, and they will know 3, and they will know 6. That means we don't need to have skills to be successful in this business. It just works. Next slide, please. let's do the math. I love this one. We're going to show you some serious money. Otherwise, what do you come here for? You don't want to just come here to say, well, will this give me an extra 100, 200 pounds a month for the next 5 years? You want to see something that's going to change your life. So the next slide, please, Marina, is going to show you if you joined at the mogul level, which also includes the elite level. So I'm going to show you the income plan as if you were starting like me, and I'm just 6 weeks ahead. That was the income plan that I showed this lady that owned a coffee bean company. She said, how much is it? I said, £255. Well, £255 is just $318. It's a very small price to get into business. But if you look at those colors there, you've got yellow is what you receive, blue is what your team receives, and orange is what they receive. So if I was to introduce 3 friends in the elite, I would receive $11 from each one. So I would receive $33, about £28. Now, that's okay, but it doesn't excite you, does it? Now, if you had the 2 businesses together, just for that little bit of extra outlay, for the 3 friends that you brought on board doing the same, that goes from $33 up to $286. That's around about £250. Oh, that happens to be about the same sort of money that I've just spent to get into this business. That means I've now broken even. Let's see what happens when they introduce their 3 friends. They get the 286. These figures, by the way, they're not just random odd figures. They're actually mathematically correct, checked by artificial intelligence. So your team, your friends bring in their 3 friends. They've got 286. You've increased to 418. Let's see what happens when they introduce their 3 friends. Could be anywhere in the world. They get 286, the same as you did. Your friends, your team is now on 418. You're now nearly touching $1,000. Let's say, for instance, I did that. Well, I got my 3 friends in about the first 2 days. So I'd made money, literally my first 2 days. But what if that took 7 days? That's 7, 14, that's 21 days worth of activity. If all we did was share it with the 3 of our friends within 7 days. Look what happens next. Well, isn't that a jump? You can see what's happening. Everybody that follows you follows you. It's not the case of people at the top make the money. Everyone that follows you that's involved in this. Now, your team has now jumped into 1,000. How pleased do you think they're going to be that their little part-time business has touched 1,000? But look at the figure you've received. Now, that's $2,700 is around about £2,300, I think. For many people, that would actually replace their job income. That would cover their mortgage, their rent, the car, the bills, the electric, the gas, the phone, the kids, the dog food, the cat food, the occasional weekend away, all just for $2,739. But next, look at this one. What an increase. Now, that's a kind of a pay rise. What is anybody doing? Is anyone paid to join again? No. Has anybody got more than 3 people? Maybe, but they haven't had to go and get 3 more people. It's not a requirement every month. It's you, join once, you introduce 3 of your friends, help your friends to live a life that hasn't got too much month at the end of the money. But if you could leave your job at 2,700, imagine what's going to happen when you're touching 6,000. Now, everything's getting paid and the credit cards are disappearing. No more credit cards at 39%. Look what happens after that. Wow. Get off the phone. Who's booking a holiday? Look at the change in that. 6,000, what an increase. What happened there? Everybody just started with their 3. It was a new day for them. And now you jump to 19,000. But you started with just 3 people from $318, which is a very, very good investment for a business like this. And everyone behind you, look at them. They're following you. They're running, your friends' friends are now on nearly 3,000 a month. Your friends are nearly touching 6,000. I think they're going to be thanking you. There's some bottles of wine coming your way by the case. Look what happens next. This is just the tip of the iceberg, 46,000. And next, 118,000. Now, even at 46,000, you're starting to change the car. You're getting a boat. I'm actually having flying lessons. You're getting flying lessons. You're doing things that you always wished you could do. And the only thing that held you back was that extra money. You didn't know where it's going to come from. And, people have gone beyond taking loans out for things. Well, I really deserve this. I want a really good holiday. So what do? They take a loan out, and then they repay and repay for the next year for the 3 weeks of fantastic entertainment they had. But imagine what entertainment you're going to have with this, with 1946, 118,000. And by the way, this isn't just one time. This is every 28 days. It's the same cycle with your subscription. All this money is coming from people paying $1 a day, people paying $10 a day. Next. Are you getting excited now? Who would have thought you could have a little part-time business, and in a matter of literally weeks and months down the road, you don't have to play the lottery anymore because you're nearly touching $500,000. And if you did that over the 2 months, excuse me, you're nearly a millionaire. Well, let's give you the next slide. No wonder there's lots of hearts going. I should think so too. But your increase when the next generation below you are getting their 3 and bringing their friends in, you don't go to the million. You actually go, you surpass the million. It's nearly 2 million. Have you ever thought that you would ever be a millionaire? Well, in co-op business, you will. I didn't say could. I said you will if you have the elite program and if you have the mogul program, because everyone, you see at the bottom, somebody starts at $286, but click to the top, 1.9. Should we improve on that? Is that enough? No, give me the next slide. Look at this, over $10 million. It doesn't sound possible, does it? But look at the things that's happened over the years, over the last 5, 7 years. Do you remember how you used to pay for something? You used to write a check, and then people stopped using checks. And then they got their card out and they put the card into a machine, and you had your private number. You put that number in and it approved it. We don't do that anymore. We just swipe our card over it, or you put your watch over it. Now, if you'd have said that 6, 7, 8 years ago, you'd have said that's ridiculous. That's Harry Potter stuff. But no, it isn't. The world changes. Look at your friends behind, your friends team. They're on 500,000. Your friends are now touching 2 million. And you're touching nearly $11 million every single 28 days. But it gets better. Next slide. Your friends now are on the same money as you. Next slide. Wow, look at that. Everybody seems to be earning the same amount of money, doing the same 2 things. And what do? What are we doing? We're helping people get out of the poverty trap. We're helping people to improve their lives. We're helping people, not hindering people. We're not selling anything to say, oh, you need to buy this, it's the latest gadget. We're bringing them into a company that wants to change the world the way it changed crowdfunding, the way he changed little cards like this that give you a discount, the way he changed the shopping mall. His plan for this was much bigger than what he's already done. And what he's already done blows me away. Let's go to the next. Predictable, ongoing, passive income. We call it a pop income. Predictable. Why is it predictable? Because we know that the subscription keeps going the same way as your television subscription, the same way as your insurance subscription. Everything but life insurance, it's a subscription. We're used to paying subscription. Well, why don't we pay a subscription to give us a fabulous income? Because there's no such thing as a better job, is there? Be honest with yourself. Can you find a better job? No, but can you find a better income? Yes, here it is. And we'll even prove it by letting you start for free. Do you remember the build section that I showed you at the beginning? Anybody in the world, I haven't really seen this, where they give you not a 7-day trial or a 14-day trial. We will prove to you that this system works. You can have a free system. You can put as many people as you like in it, and you will see that income grow up the same that you've just seen that chart. Now, I bet you've never looked at a business opportunity like this in the last 5 years that you say, well, I saw the figures. I saw how simple it was, and I can start today, and I can make money today, and I can take money out tomorrow. Most part-time, there's a few part-time ventures on the market. There's one that people seem to be jumping into, and it won't pay you for 3 months. They'll make some money there. There's other things. People go on Bitcoin things. They go into trading, and it pays good money if you know what you're doing, if you can learn it quick enough, if you understand it. Well, with co-op business, you don't have to understand it. You just have to come on board and trust it and trust us, because it works. 3 months ago, I didn't know what this was. Here now, I've got people on this, looking at this today, that are on here, and I thank you all for coming on, and thank you all for joining me in business. But just 3 months later, I retired from work. I gave up a full-time occupation to work part-time in this. I don't even need to go full-time in this. Isn't that amazing? So what I'd like to do is to get back to the person that introduced you to this tonight, and go back and have a look at that. Would your life be better if you had more money? Well, we've just shown you the money. And what we're going to do with this business is not just help you make extra money. We are going to change the way that people make money around the world. And we are going to be the biggest company that gives people the largest incomes in the world. We don't care what's happening with Amazon and companies like that. They're not going to make the kind of money that we can make here, because the system has already been built. And then as we're making money, we're going to tackle global poverty. Why should we keep watching it? Why keep looking at these disasters? These people don't need a handout, they need a hand up. And Co-op Business can do that for you. So thank you very much for your time. I'm going to hand you back to Marina. It's been my absolute pleasure to show you this outstanding business opportunity. Thank you, Marina.
Thank you, Paul. That was fantastic. Love the new slides. It really sort of, gives us the whole picture of what we are doing in this business. It's very, very exciting. I am absolutely thrilled by all of it. And, when you're talking about subscriptions, I was actually counting all my subscriptions, and it's crazy. I've got Netflix, I've got BigView, I've got my real estate subscription. Then there's about 3 of those that go with that business, and your TV and your Wi-Fi, and oh, goodness me, it just goes on and on and on. And, for $38, if that's the package you're getting in, that's pretty much what I'm paying for each one. It's crazy. So I think it's fantastic. Guys, we're keeping this short tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I will share the recording as soon as possible, and you can hand it over to your guests and team members. Thank you so much from me, Marina Favett from South Africa.
Me, Paul Angus from Nottingham in the United Kingdom. Bye-bye.
Great. Thank you. Bye-bye all.